I am sitting on the couch that I bought 6 months ago, January 2023.
The big comfy couch.
We are 6 months into the year. This is your opportunity to self-reflect and do a little self-audit on your Airbnb journey. Welcome back to MBX Homes YouTube. It's June 2023. I'm going to teach you how to do a little self-audit that you should definitely be doing at the midway point of each year, or even better yet, at the end of every quarter, or how we do it at the end of every month. It is super important to remember this is a business. If you have one property or if you have 70 properties, you gotta evaluate those properties and you gotta do a self-audit. There are 3 main things you need to do when you're doing an Airbnb audit. The first one is obviously you gotta analyze all the updates. Airbnb had huge updates the past 6 months, so you gotta make sure all your fields are correctly filled out. Second, we gotta make sure you're evaluating your booking patterns. Did you have a hot month where you only booked on weekends? Vice versa. And lastly, we're all here to make money, so let's make sure we're actually analyzing our financial statements, and we gotta make sure we're on track to end the year in the green and not in the red. It is so crucial that you make sure you're keeping up with the Airbnb updates. Airbnb had huge updates just a few months ago, and there are so many listings out there that the fields still are not completed. We see this all the time. Obviously, we have a management company. It's our job to fill out these fields, but let me tell you, it is so easy to miss those fields that are not completed, and Airbnb eventually will knock you on the algorithm if you're not completing all the fields because you're not clicking on the Airbnb website or portal as they want you to do. Also, pro tip, make sure you're evaluating all these fields on a desktop because it looks so different on the app version and it's so easy to miss a really important field on the app. This is also the perfect opportunity to kind of go through all the amenities that you do offer in your Airbnb, or if you're even a local, if your Airbnb is literally in your backyard, go to the property and kind of just make sure that the actual amenities that are inside of your Airbnb are reflected on your listing. So make sure you're marking that little X, a little check mark on Airbnb. Remember when you first made your listing years ago or 6 months ago? You probably have never revisited that description. So take the chance, this is your time, make sure everything's accurate. Maybe you've added some things, maybe you've taken away some things from the home. Just make sure that all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Or however the saying goes, just make sure everything's correct. Piggybacking off of the description, this is the perfect opportunity to also audit the photos, whether that be the order of the photos or the actual description underneath the photos on Airbnb. Fun fact, in case you didn't know, the description on the photos is actually an SEO. So you want to make sure that all those words are SEO friendly because we want to make sure that yes, you're being super clear to your guests on what the photo actually is, but we also want to make sure that those keywords are boosting you up on the algorithm. And wrapping up the description and the photos, if you have a very seasonal property, whether that be your property does amazing during the summer months, during football season, during basketball season, you want to make sure that your description is actually geared towards that particular demographic and the photos are representing the correct season that we're actually in. We're not trying to book a snow resort or a ski resort property in July. So now it's time to get a little technical. We've done all the fun stuff. We've updated our description. We've reorganized our photos. We're making sure our listing is up and accurate. But we have to look at the past 6 months. We have to see what your booking pattern is. Were you only booked on the weekends? Did you miss a huge opportunity window? Did you forget to actually price out a holiday, double than what the usual rate is? This is your time to kind of reflect on your past, not really mistakes, but your past performance and how you can reevaluate that to really fill in those other gaps for the next 6 months or for the first half of the year in 2024. We see this all the time. We see the listings that are only getting booked on the Friday and Saturday nights, and they're leaving 5 nights out of the week empty, vacant, no bookings. That is because you probably have a 2-night stay throughout the whole entire year. Don't do that. We are better than that. We are doing a 3-night minimum stay so that at least we know we get a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday booking. And that extra day is actually gonna add up so quickly. So here's an MBX Homes pro tip. We only open up our calendars 3 months at a time. We do this because we have a 3-night minimum stay. And typically, it goes really well in our favor. We get booked out, a few months in advance. We're getting some 3 and 4 night stay bookings, and money's great. However, we do have it where, in 2 weeks, we have a weekend open. That is where we take that opportunity and we do knock it down to a 2-night minimum, because we at least want that home to be booked for a weekend and not just leave it empty, because that's a missed opportunity. This business is all about strategy. What worked for you last year is probably not going to work for you this year, so make sure that you're not being stubborn. Make sure that you're really playing around with your minimum night stays and, of course, the nightly rate. Another huge missed opportunity that we see far, far too often is Airbnb hosts are not taking into consideration the major holidays, the major 3-day weekends in the first half of the year. We all know that the first half of the year is typically the slowest half. There are some 3-day weekends in February, there's President's Day, there's also spring break. There's a lot that's going on, but we do understand that it could be a slower time. If you know you are always booked on Martin Luther King weekend, a 3-day weekend, take out your little journal and make sure you're writing those little notes for 2024 that you need to up your price for MLK weekend, because you know that you're always gonna get some travelers. Now that I've got a little technical with our Airbnb listing, let's get a little savvy, money savvy. We're all in this business to make a little extra money, to make this our passive income, to make this our full-time job. Guys, let's talk about the money, the cha-ching, the moolah. Make sure you are analyzing all of your dollars that you have made and that you have spent in the last 6 months. As an Airbnb host and operator, you've gotta ask yourself these 3 questions at least every quarter. 1, are you making ends meet? Are you making your mortgage every month? Are you making that utility bill? The second question is, can you cut costs anywhere? Are you spending a little bit too much on guest gifts and you're not seeing that return? And the last question is, can you adjust your booking strategy to maybe make a greater ROI? It's so easy when you're like a solo operator of an Airbnb and you're just like going through the motions every single day, like trying to make guests happy, trying to talk to your cleaner, trying to hire a handyman, that you actually forget that you're in this to make money. So it's super important to have like some sort of like tracker system that you could go back to and look at your numbers, January, February, March, April, May, June, see where your need months are, see what months you did excellent in. In those months that you did so well, does that money carry you over to the slow months? It's all about strategizing and kind of seeing like where that money's going. Another big thing that I see with Airbnb hosts is you're spending way too much money. We love a good welcome present, we love Charmin toilet paper, but if you're only getting booked Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday, maybe we shouldn't do such a big welcome basket. Maybe we should cut back a little bit. Only offer the bottled water and then maybe add a bottle of bubbles for a special occasion instead of every guest getting that. The end of the month, the end of every quarter, the middle of the year is always the best time to reevaluate your business, your goals, why you started doing Airbnb in the first place, and really make sure it's well worth it. We have 6 more months left of 2023. I know big months are coming. Big money months are coming, big changes are happening. Make sure you're prepared, you're ready, you're doing your research, because at the end of December, you wanna make sure that your Airbnb business is in the green, not in the red, and that you have enough funds to ramp you up for 2024. At the end of Q1, we did a recap video of our numbers, and we honestly think we doubled those numbers in Q2. Stay tuned for our Q2 recap video coming out very soon. Thanks for watching our YouTube video, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. And honestly, if you need a little help auditing your own profile, your own Airbnb account, make sure you use the link below, book a one-on-one call with us, use the promo code. I would be more than happy to give you some pointers and to really just show you guys how we get to do this for 40 of our different properties here in LA. Otto loves money. All his favorite toys are green. Go get it. Good boy. We gotta pay for your lifestyle. AKA the groomers tomorrow.